Welcome back to Dennypark English Reading Show. I'm going to introduce you to The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Getaway by Jeff Kinney. Did you remember I read you 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 parts of the last video? Yeah, and it's time to read part 6. Let's explore this part 6 together and find out what happens. I was pretty sure they served burgers and fries at the swim-up bar at the pool. So we went there to check it out. But I had second thought about eating at the pool once we ordered. It was like having a meal in a bathtub with a bunch of people you don't know. And it wasn't just people either. There was actually a monkey sitting at the other end of the bar. Dad asked the bartender about the monkey, and she told us the whole sad story. She said these monkeys used to live in a big tree on the resort with a bunch of other monkeys, and he was kind of like their leader. But when his younger monkey came along and kicked him out, the monkey didn't have any place to go. So one day he came to the bar and people started buying him drinks, and he's been coming back every day since. I really didn't know what to think after I heard the story like that. All I knew for sure was that I don't feel great about eating lunch while sitting in a monkey water. There was some sort of big sports game on the TV, and everyone at the bar seemed really into it, and somehow Manny ended up with the remote control. And he changed the channel to a show for little kids. Everyone wanted Manny to change the channel back. But when Manny wants to watch one of his shows, trust me, there's nothing anyone can do about it. The people at the bar are ready to riot. And Mom scooped Manny up and we got out of there before I even finished my burger. Roderick went back to the teen zone, and Mom and Dad took Manny to the suite so he could take a nap. I really didn't want to go back to the room and risk running into the spider again, so I decided to spend the rest of the afternoon in the arcade. I had to make the coins I'd collected in the treasure dive last 2.5 hours. But there was some kid in the arcade who could last for days in there without spending all their money. When it started to get dark, I figured I should head back to the room, but I ran into Mom. Dad and Manny are on the footpath halfway between the arcade and our building. Mom said we were all gonna go down to a bonfire on the beach, and after what we were gonna watch the turtle hatching. But first we needed to find Roderick. We all went to the teen zone to look for him. By now it was pretty dark though, so it wasn't easy to spot him. But when we did, I don't think he was too thrilled to see us. On the way to the beach, Mom told Roderick this was a family vacation. And it wasn't the time for playful teenage romance. Roderick said this thing with the girl was serious and they planned to spend much time as they got together. I was kind of surprised because I thought Roderick would be turned off by the whole idea of romance after spending a few days at the resort. Who knows, maybe one day he'll be back to his place with his family. We got down to the beach, where a beach of families and gathered around a bonfire. But I experienced wasn't fun because of the bugs. At first it was the gnats, which fly into our eyes and mouths. When it was sandflies, which bit our ankles, and then it was the mosquitoes, which were signs of hummingbirds. Whoever came up with the idea of calling this place paradise must have a good sense of humor. Back home, human beings at the top of the food chain. But at Isola, at Colorado's, everything is people. I was definitely ready to go back to the room, because at least there I only had to deal with one bug. But then the nature guy came through and said anyone who signed up to see the turtle hatching needed to follow her to the dunes. The nature guy explained what we are about to see. She said that the mother turtle digs a hole in the sand, dawns, and then lays egg in it. And a few months later, the eggs hatch. Then the baby turtle heard to sea. She showed a little pile of white eggs buried in the dawns and said there are lots of piles just like this one. She said the problem was that we don't know exactly when the eggs will hatch. It was dark. It was dark out, and I was afraid it was gonna especially step on the egg. So I took a few steps back to get out of the way. But when I did, something crunched under my feet. Luckily, it was just a seashell. But still, my stomach was in knots. I'm not a fan of reptiles in general, but I decided I would make an expression for turtles. Let's face it, the only person we were out there to watch the baby turtles hatch was because they're cute. Trust me, if this was a snake hatching, it would be a totally different situation. Just when I was getting ready to tell Mom we should give up and go back home and go back to our room, the eggs started hatching one by one. Everybody got thrilled, but the nature guide told us to stay quiet and get out of the way. She said the turtles find their way to the sea by seeing the moonlight refreshing on the water. But everyone enjoyed the nature guide and turned on their phones. And the camera lights made the turtles go every which way. Mom was enthusiastic because she said we were witnessing the miracle of life. She said where Roderick was, but no one knew. Dad said the last time we saw Roderick, he was in the tall grass on the dunes. And that's where we found him. Kiss, smooch. That should have, because the end of the night it wasn't. When we got back to the room, we found out that Manny pocketed one of the baby turtles while no one was looking. So Dad had to take it all the way back to the beach to set it free. Tuesday. I guess Mom wasn't too happy with the way our family holiday was going so far, because after the breakfast she said she was gonna have a spa day. That sounded like a great idea to me, and I told Mom I was gonna tag along. I've always wanted to get a massage, and I figured this was my big chance. But Mom said she needed to time herself, and the rest of us were on our own. That meant we had to watch Manny. Once Mom left, the three of us tried to figure out what to do. Manny was so much handled, so I suggested we just drop him off of the Turtler's cabana and let the people who worked there deal with him. Dad liked that idea because he said he wanted to get in a workout at the gym. He told me and Roger, we were responsible for getting Manny to the Turtles' cabana, and then he left. The path took us right past the wall that separated our half from well side. I guess some kids were trying to get a peek at what was over there, and the landscapers put a stop to it. I asked Roderick if he thought it was the other side, but he said he already knew. He has some friends in the teen zone and told him all sorts of crazy stuff goes on over there. And there's even a beach where people sunbathe without any clothes on. He said there's a hole in the wall and if you look through it, you can see the other side. But I knew Roger was just trying to trick me because he's told me this kind of thing before. One summer when we were at the town pool, he told me that if I pick over the breeze block wall, I could see into the ladies' locker room. Well, I believed them, and I've been trying to erase that image from my mind ever since. We took Manny to the toddler's cabana, and the kids inside were making puppets. He told the person in charge we're dropping our little brother off for the day, and we'd be back later. The playgroup leader said the only equivalent for a drop-off was that the kid was potty trained, and I told him that Manny was. But Manny must really not have wanted to make puppets, because he got himself out of it. Roderick and I had to watch Manny by myself, because he was gonna go and check out the activities at the teen zone. But I knew he was just going there to meet up with that girl. I was not happy that I got to stop with Manny. I didn't want to take him to the beach because he just started collecting pets again. So I took him to the private play place, which was a splash zone for little kids. It was actually perfect because I could relax on a lawn chair and keep an eye on Manny while he played. I even ordered a grilled cheese sandwich and some French fries for a waiter who came by, but I wasn't able to enjoy my meal. Some kids on the miniature pirate ship figured out if they plug one of the water cannons, they could make the other one shot twice as far. So I had to move to a lawn chair that was farther away. But when I sat down, I realized I had lost track of Manny. I eventually spotted him on the middle of the paddling pool, all by himself. I knew I had to go in there and get him, but I really didn't want to. With the number of little kids in the pool, I knew exactly what was in that water. When I was little, I used to pee in the baby pool all the time. In fact, there was a framed photo of me in the family room using the pool as a potty. Mom says it is a favorite picture of me because I look so happy, but I've never told her why. One summer, they put some chemical in the pool and turned it green if anyone peed. So that put an end to that. I needed to figure out a way to get to Manny without touching the water. So I found a raft and a pool noodle and paddled out to him. But I only made it halfway across when a bunch of little kids decided it would be fun to climb into my raft. I tried fighting them off with the noodle, but there was just too many of them. Then they teamed up to flip me over. I got Manny out of the pool and then spent 20 minutes scrubbing every inch of my body in the outdoor shower. 5 seconds later, I finished drying off. I was wet again. The kids in the pirate ship figured out that I had plucked 2 cannons they could get some serious range. This is end of the part 6. If you want to read chapter 7 with me, all you have to do is search like this into YouTube. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dennypark English Reading Show. And don't forget to put a good sign on my video and subscribe my video. Thank you. See you later. Bye bye.